What is up, guys? Thick Cactus here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we've got some brand spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, unveiling official information, and so let's get started. Now, the biggest thing by far to happen this week in Destiny is that Bungie released a brand new gameplay trailer showcasing Europa, the new destination, or at least one of the new destinations coming with Beyond Light. If you didn't see that trailer or you want to know more about it, I've done a complete breakdown showcasing a ton of stuff that you may have missed. Check it out, it's linked up above. But one of the things that I spotted during that trailer is this little scene here. It showcases a Guardian with a weapon that has a sight that uses target highlighting. Now, this is definitely not the first time it's happened off the top of my head. I mean, all of the Seraph weapons pretty much have target highlighting as well, but interestingly in this scene, the Guardian cannot see the enemies. They are completely obstructed by seemingly the weather, this blizzard, and then you're able to spot them when he actually aims down sights. Turns out this is actually a feature. Bungie came out the next day and released an entire article detailing that this new destination, Europa, will actually have dynamic weather patterns. So, based on just kind of random circumstance or potentially throughout the day, the weather on Europa is actually going to change and you'll have to adjust how you play accordingly. In fact, these three images showcase this very well. Here is the original image of an area. This is no weather affecting it, so this is just like completely clear skies. But then we have kind of a light storm blowing in. You can see it's a little bit harder to see where you are. But then finally we have the severe storm that has blown in. And you can see like this is actually going to affect combat. Like you could potentially be getting hit by like a sniper in the distance and not necessarily see where that guy is. So those type of weapons with those target highlighting scopes, specifically if you're doing activities on Europa, those just became a lot more valuable, and that is a really interesting gameplay change coming with this new destination. Additionally, when that trailer was released, Bungie also unveiled the complete map for Europa. Here it is. And actually, in doing so, this confirmed a pretty crazy Easter egg, because Bungie actually unveiled this map years ago with Forsaken. That's right, and that's because Cade's journal, which I think came with some collector's editions of Forsaken, and someone sent me this image on Twitter. This is a map in Cade's journal that again came out with Forsaken, and if we compare it side by side, that is Europa. That is the exact same map, like very clearly the same layout. Maybe some things have changed slightly. Certainly the upper portion has increased in scale, but that is pretty crazy. And so it begs a question, like what other hints has Bungie planted in this older content? Like, do we know where we're going after Europa? Do we already have like the map for wherever we're going in Lightfall, for example? Pretty crazy stuff here. Now, moving on from there, the other big thing to happen this week is that Destiny 2 officially arrived on the Xbox Game Pass. But not just Destiny 2 and all of the major expansions. Remember that if you do get access to D2 on the Game Pass, you'll automatically get Beyond Light on November 10th. And this is absolutely huge. Game Pass is kind of like the Netflix of gaming. You pay a monthly fee and you have access to all these different games. It is a widely popular and successful program. In fact, their sales have jumped 50% in the last 6 months or so due to all of the hype around the Xbox Series S and Series X. So this is just giving so many Guardians out there the capability to hop onto Destiny 2, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the player base really jump with this addition, because what was kind of the main thing holding people back when you were, for example, trying to convince your friends to get Destiny 2? It was like, oh, well, the game's free, but I gotta buy, $100 worth of expansions to get any content. Now that it's all on Game Pass, which is, again, insane. And by the way, there's Game Pass for PC too. It's not just Xbox. But continuing on from there, something important to know is the next Iron Banner. So it's arriving next week on September 29th at Reset, and it ends October 6th on Reset. Now, interestingly, this is going to launch with Triple Valor. So if you haven't earned all of your Crucible rewards, if you're still chasing a good Anonymous Autumn, Sidearm Roll, for example, definitely a great time to play, especially because Iron Banner offers pinnacle rewards and a lot of really high infusion capped good weapons. But very interestingly, Bungie talks about, hey, we've got some things planned between September 22nd and November 10th, the length of the delay for Beyond Light. And they talked about, hey, we already did double ordeal loot on Lake of Shadows for the Nightfall. I mean, that was an absolutely insane week for people farming exotics and materials, and they actually say specifically there will be a few more weeks with increased rewards for Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit, so stay tuned for announcements. Vanguard, I'm definitely interested in, especially because if they do, triple Vanguard tokens, that could be a huge deal, because Lord Saladin is actually giving access to a wider loot pool than just Vanguard loot. You can get the world drop loot from Zavala, so that could be a great time to farm, a Dire Promise, for example. So again, keep your eye out for that when it comes, or hey, subscribe and you'll definitely know about it on this channel. Next up, the Bungie devs go into some great detail about how things are changing under the hood for Beyond Light. So not only are they adding all this new content, they're changing how the game functions at a base level, changing some engine mechanics, some script mechanics. So one of the things they're doing, and I'm just going to be giving the simplistic cliff notes here, in changing the scripting model, you'll be able to have face-to-face joins in social spaces, so you can now fire team up with tower friends without a long tower reload. So you can just join immediately, I guess. Additionally, Bungie revamped their content building and patching pipeline for speed and install size. So this means you're gonna have to have a full re-download when Beyond Light comes out, because there are so many under the hood changes. So yeah, you'll have to reinstall the entire game, but this is actually going to be releasing on November 9th, and that is going to give you at least 10 hours to download before Beyond Light officially launches on November 10th. That's fantastic. And don't think you're going to have to reinstall an even bigger version. In fact, because they're getting rid of so many areas, the install size shrinks by 30 to 40%. So if you're a Destiny fan, you're actually going to have a lot more room on your hard drive after you do this reinstall, which is great. Next up, they redesigned the character face system, adding more features, and so your Guardian might look a little bit different when Beyond Light launches. And also, they relit portions of the EDZ and Nessus, so those destinations may look a bit different when November hits. They also say that all of this is going to allow them to respond faster with patches and additional content, so that could be a huge change going forward. But moving on from there, the next thing that Beyond Light brings is a redesign of a lot of the community emblems. So this is what the new emblem for Fashion Show is going to look like for Year 4. Moving on from there, featured artist, pictured here. The next emblem we have is for Movie of the Week, pictured right here. We've then got the new Bungie Bounty emblem, pictured here. And of course, the Bungie forums and Bungie live streams are helped very much by volunteers who are willing to moderate and so on. So we have new emblems for mentors, pictured here, ninjas, pictured here, and then shields, pictured here. And they say if you want to know how to become a member of the moderation team, like just keep being active within the forums, etc., and then they reach out to you essentially. But guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.